Good evening, my dear students. Today in these sessions, we are going to discuss regarding the cycloid. Cycloid was a name given by Galileo in 1599. The cycloid, which is mainly used for the teeth profile of a gear. So we know that the cycloid is a curve traced by a point on the circumference of a circle which roll along a fixed straight line without slipping is known as cycloid. Clear? Let us see. First thing is the cycloid was name given by Galileo in 1599. The cycloid, which is mainly used in a tooth profile of a gear. Where we are using it here, the cycloid we are used in a teeth profile of a gear. Okay, so sometimes the questions will be arise, what is the meaning of cycloid? You know that cycloid is a curve traced by a point. This is not visible properly. Just a minute. Traced by a point on the circumference of a circle which roll along a fixed straight line without slipping is known as cycloid. Let us see. Okay, this is the vertical wall. Here one horizontal surface. What I'm doing over here, I'm using one curve clear. Let us see. So this point, what we can say, point A, I'm giving the specific point on the curve, point B, point C, point D, and this is what we can say, point E. Let us assume over here this ball. Okay, the ball, if you are placing at the point A, the ball A is moved from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, will take the same time to reach at E. So which is mainly used in a titochrome problem, where we are using here titochrome problem, in which we are using this cycloid. Clear? So I am representing over here titochrome problem. Let us see, if you place this object Object in the sense we can place as a object, or you can say as ball. Okay, the ball you are placing at this point A. At this point A, is it right? This ball is moved from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E. Will take the same time to reach up to E. Is it right? Then again, this cycloid is broadly classified into two types. First one is the epicycloid, another one is hypocycloid. Cycloid broadly classified into two types here. First one is epicycloid. Second one is hypocycloid. Let us see. First, I am using one base. It's visible here. Okay. We are marking one point. So this line is called as slant edge line, or you can say as outside lines. And this arc is called as outside periphery. So what we can see here? Periphery. Okay. Outside periphery. Generally we can say as periphery of a circle. Periphery of a circle. Let us assume the ball or roller which roll outside the periphery of the circle without slipping if it is moves. Is it right? This making this angle is known as the subtended angle. Again, I will repeat here. The epicycloid nothing but the ball or roller which roll outside the periphery of a circle without slipping if it is moved from one place to the another place. Is it right? So what we can say? Epicycloid. Clear? Epicycloid in which the ball or roller which roll outside the periphery of a circle without slipping is known as epicycloid. What about the hypocycloid? Hypocycloid in which the ball or roller which roll inside the periphery of a circle is known as hypocycloid. Let us see this figure. Okay. This is our periphery. Clear? This is our ball, or you can say as roller. Ball, or you can say as roller. Okay, this is our periphery of a circle. The ball or roller which roll inside the periphery. Where is there? Where is it moving here? Inside the periphery of circle without slipping if it is moved from one place to the another place. So what we can say? We can say as hypocycloid. Epi nothing but the ball or roller which roll outside the periphery of a circle without slipping is known as epicycloid. Hypocycloid in which the ball or roller which roll inside the periphery of a circle. Where here? Inside the periphery of a circle without slipping if it is moved from one place to the another place is known as hypocycloid. Okay, we are going to solve the next problem on the cycloid. Make the heading of cycloid. Cycloid problem. Okay. Cycloid problems. Draw a cycloid of a circle of diameter 50 mm for one revolution. Is visible. Okay. One revolution. Also, draw a tangent and a normal to the curve at a point 35 mm above the baseline. Let us see how to draw this figure. Read the question. Draw a cycloid of a circle of diameter. Diameter of the circle, how much is given here? 50 mm. First thing is you need to write here in the given data. In the solution you can write diameter of a circle, nothing but D, equal to 50 mm. So what we want here? 50 mm, nothing but 5 centimeter. Okay. We want radius. What we want? Radius. Radius of a circle. R. We have the formula diameter by 2. If 15 nothing but half should be 25 mm. 50 mm by 2 nothing but 25 mm. 25 mm what we can say here? 2.5 centimeter. How much? 2.5. From this scale, you need to measure a length from 0 to 2.5. How much we have to measure a length? 2.5 centimeter. Let us see this. It's visible for you. 2.5. First, from this point, you need to draw a circle. Okay. Of radius 2.5 centimeter. How much radius we have here? 2.5 centimeter, 25 mm. Let us see. This is our center point. Are you agree or not? Yes. From this point, Let us see. We need to divide into how many equal part? First thing is 4 equal part. Draw the horizontal line. Represent as long line. 2 dot, long line, 2 dot, long line. This is our center point. Is it right? Center point. Center point represent as long line and 2 dot. That is axis. Same thing we have to continue for the vertical. This circle we are divided into how many equal part? 4 part. Is it right? Horizontal, vertical. Our intention is there. This circle we have to divide into how many equal part? Again 8 part. Total should be 12 equal part. Should be how much here? 12 equal part. This is circle nothing but how much? 360 degree. 360 by 12 nothing but how much? 30 degree each. How much we have to measure? 30 degree each. This circle how much is there? 360 degree. How much? 360 degree. Divide into how many equal part? 12 equal part. How much you will get? 30 degree each. Clear? Done. Mark the point 30, 60, okay, 90 already is there. Again 120, again 150, 180 already exists. Is it right? Just same thing we have to continue for the bottom. Okay, 30, 60, 90 already is there. Again 120, clear, and 150. Let us see 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360. Just join this point. Let us see 30 degree and here 60 degree. This 90 is already is there. 120, 150 and 180. Two 10, 240, okay, 270, okay. How much angle we are taking here? 30 degree each. How much here? 30 degree each. Clear? Then after that, from this point you need to represent the point in which direction here? Anti-clockwise direction. So this is 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So this is our base point. Okay, from this base point we need to take a length. Should be how much? We have to use the formula here, pi d. Which formula we have to use? Pi d. We know that this is the base of a circle. Okay, pi d nothing but the length pi d Pi value is 3.142. Diameter how much is given? 50 is given. If you multiply 157 millimeter. Clear? 157 point something will be there. You can consider over here only 157 millimeter. 157 millimeter nothing but how much will be there? 15.7 centimeter. We need to measure a length from the baseline. So this line what we can say? Baseline. On which this ball or roller which roll on the horizontal surface. Is it right? How much length we have to measure? 15.7. Okay, this is 15.5, 15.6, 15.7. After that, same thing we have to continue from above. 15.7. You need to join this point. This height should be how much? 50 mm. Clear? We have to show the dimension here from this point. Pi d 3.142 into 50, nothing but 157 millimeter. Clear? Meanwhile, show the dimension here. From this side also show the dimension. Okay, then let us see. This is our center point. Same thing we have to continue for the center, long line and dotted. Is it right? Long line, 2 dot, long line, 2 dot. It represents as center line. Clear? Then let us see, if the observer is observed from this point, the projection should be passed from 11 to 1, from 10 to 2, 9 to 3, 8 to 4, 7 to 5 and 6. Clear? You need to pass a projections line. It should be passes from 11 to 1. Clear? From next one, from 10 to 2. Again from 8 to 4. Again from 7 to 5. Clear? Then the length, so this is point what we can say point A. This is what we can say B. This is C and this is point what we can say point D. The length from A to B is 157. Is it right? This 157, the length 157 divided into how many equal part? 12 part. Okay, then you will get so in this case already we discussed that the length from A to B, length of A to B is how much is there? 157. 157 by 12 if you are divide, then you will get a 13.08 something will be there. Is it right? 13.08 you have to measure a length. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 13.08. Again, same thing we have to continue. Otherwise, you do one thing with the help of compass. First of all, measure the 13.08. Same thing you can mark. Okay. 13.08 nothing but 1.38 centimeter. This is the millimeter. Okay. Let's see. So I am measuring length 1.3. Just you have to mark 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is 12. Okay, done. After that, from each point, you need to draw the vertical line. This line should touch on the center. Where we have to touch the ear? On this center. This is first line, second line, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9, 10, 11, and this is 12. So we have to give the specific point like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is 12. Okay. So if it is a touch on above, so this point what we can say C1, center point C1, center point C2, and this point what we can say center point C3, center point C4, this is 5 point what we can say C5, C6, C7, C8, C9, C10, C11, and this is C12. Clear? So we know that after that we need to draw the arc. What we have to draw here? We need to draw the arc. How much length we need to measure? Because we know that diameter is 50, radius 25. Take 25 mm only. 2.5 centimeter. How much dear? 25 nothing but 2.5 centimeter. Okay. Place a compass. Let us see. Place a compass on C1. Mark on a first line. So mark on a first line. So this is the first line. Place a compass. So this point what we can say P1. What we can say here? P1. Okay. Place a compass on C2. Mark on a second line. Second line is 10 or 2. So this point what we can say P2. Place a compass on C3. Mark on a third line. Third line which one is there? 9 or 3. So this is what we can say P3. Place a compass on C4. Mark on a fourth line. So what we can say P4. Place a compass on C5. Mark on a fifth line. So this is what we can say P5. Place a compass on C6. Mark on a sixth line. Clear? So this is what we can say here P6. Place a compass on C7. mark on a seventh line. Which is seventh line? 7 and 5. Is it right? So this is what we can say. P7. Place a compass on C8, mark on a 8th line. So this point what we can say? P8. Place a compass on C9, mark on a 9th line. 9th line is, which one is there? 9 and 3. Is it right? P9. Place a compass on C10, mark on a 10 line. So this is what we can say. P10. Place a compass on C11, mark on a 11th line. Is it right? P11. Place a compass on C12, mark on a 12 line. It should be P12. Just we need to join the points. Is it right? From A to P1, P1 to P2, P2 to P3, P3 to P4, P4 to P5, P5 to P6. I will use another pen. P6, P6 to P7, P7 to P8, P8 to P9, P9 to P10, P10 to P11, and this is P12. Meanwhile, this is what we can say arc. So this is what we can say arc. Clear? There. And from A to B is called as base of a circle. Base, you can say. Baseline, you can say that. Clear? A to B is called as baseline. Read the question. Again, I will repeat. Okay. After that, we will draw the tangent and normal line. First, draw the circle. This circle, we need to divide into 12 equal parts. Each angle should be 30 degree. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360. Is it right? After that, A to B, we need to measure length of 157. D to C also 157. Join this point. Clear? Observer is observed from this point. The projection is passed from 7 to 5, 8 to 4, from 9 to 3, from 10 to 2, and 11 to 1. Clear? The length from A to B is how much is there? 157 mm will be there. We have to divide into how many equal part? 12 equal part. 12 part nothing but should be how much? 13.08 millimeter. Millimeter nothing but 1.3 centimeter. Measure distance from A to 1, 1.3 centimeter. 1 to 2, 1.3. 2 to 3, how much is there? 1.3. Same distance we have to measure up to this 12. Clear? Each distance should be how much? 1.3 centimeter. How much? 1.3 centimeter. From this point, draw the vertical line. So this is what we can say C1. This is 2 point what we can say C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, C9, C10, C11, C12. Clear? After that, we need to measure with the help of compass, because the diameter of the circle is how much? 50. How much we want? Radius is how much is that? 25 mm. How much? 25. Place a compass on C1, mark on a first line. How much radius we have? 2.5 centimeter. Place a compass on C2, mark on a second line. Place a compass on C3, mark on a third line. Place a compass on C4, mark on a fourth. Place a compass on C5, mark on a fifth line. Same thing we have to continue for C6, C7, C8, C9, C10, C11, C12. After that, we need to trace this path. Okay. So this P1, P2, P3, what we can say? Tracing point. What we can say? This is what we can say here. Tracing point. Joining from P1 to P2, P2 to P3, P3 to 4, P4 to P5. So this is what we can say. Tracing path. Clear? Then again we need to draw here. Let us see this question. Also draw a tangent and a normal to the curve at a point of 35 mm from the baseline. So this means that we need to draw the tangent line, normal line. How much we have to measure? 35 mm from the baseline we need to measure. Let us see. All of you, please concentrate over here. Almost all students is doing the mistakes here only. Okay. From this point, okay, from this point we need to measure a length of how much? 3.5 centimeter. Clear? How much, dear? 3.5. Let us see. 3.5 centimeter. Nothing but 3.5, nothing but that is 30 mm. 35 mm is called as 3.5 centimeter. Clear? From this point, you need to draw one vertical line. This line should touch. I will use another pen. Okay. You draw one line. This line should touch on this arc. Clear? If it is touch at this point, so this point is called as median point. What we can see here? Median point. From this point, we need to draw the arc of radius how much? 2.5 centimeter. How much, dear? 2.5. Place a compass on the median and draw the arc. So it will intersect on this center point. After that, you need to join the point from median to this point. Clear? This is our arc. Radius how much? 25 mm. Nothing but 2.5 centimeter. From this point, draw the vertical line. This line should touch on the baseline. Where we have to touch the baseline. If it is touch on the baseline, so this point is called as a normal point. What we can say here? Normal point. You need to pass a line from the normal to median. Where we have to pass here? Normal to median. So this is what we can say. N and N dash. N and N dash. So what we can say? Normal line. So this line is called as normal line. Meanwhile, we need to draw the tangent line. We know that tangent line always perpendicular to the normal line. We need to place a scale in such a way that this line should be makes the angle of 90 degree. So this center point median. From this point, draw the tangent line. So this point, what we can say here? Tangent point T and T dash. T and T dash is called as tangent line. So which pencil we have to use over here? Always remember, for the circle, for the base A to B, B to C, C to D, we have to use HB pencil. Which pencil? For the circle also HB. For the baseline A to B also HB. Baseline A to B HB. D to C also HB. Is it right? Normal and tangent always we have to use HB pencil. Which pencil here? For the normal line, HB pencil. For the tangent line, for the tangent, HB pencil. For normal, HB pencil. Clear? Then, all inside line, this all 1 to C1, 1 to C2, all line, we have to use H pencil. All horizontal line, from 11 to 1, 10 to 2, 9 to 3, 8 to 4, 7 to 6. Which pencil we have to use? H pencil. Clear? Then again for this profile, okay, cycloid profile, we have to use which pencil here? H pencil. For this cycloid profile, we have to use HB pencil. Clear? And this radius, we have to use H pencil. and this vertical line also H pencil. Clear? I hope so. No one is having that doubt regarding up to these sessions. So in the next class, we are going to discuss regarding the epicycloid. Thank you, dear.